Hey, good morning, everybody. This is your Mountain Man Chef here today, and we are going to be doing something on the Christmas spirit, and that's chestnuts roasting on an open fire. So this is what we have today. We have a bowl full of chestnuts. They're not, perfectly fresh, not perfectly picked, because you do have to have them picked and dried. So a little bit of safety precautions for you. You need a paring knife and a pair of leather gloves. The reason why you're going to do leather gloves is because before you roast a chestnut, here's a good close-up look of it. It is completely sealed all the way around. You throw these into a fire, and the first thing that's going to happen is a pretty good darn explosion. If you're near it, the little pieces of the shell are pretty hot, and they're not too comfortable to deal with. Burns are, pretty bad. So what we're going to do to defeat that purpose of it exploding on you in a fire is we are going to get the tip of it, which is that part, and not the hard part, which is that part. We are going to basically cut an X into the shell. This is why we have a leather glove in the event that you do slip and cut yourself. So we're going in about a half an inch. Okay, and then we're going to make another cut this way. Cut it that way. So you have a nice little slit in it. Okay, that's going to let the steam come out. That's going to let it roast. There are two parts to the shell. There's a hard part, which is the outside, and then there's an inner part. And it's kind of like a little furry shell to it. Once these are finished roasting, it's going to actually curl over, and it'll be easy to peel. So before you actually start roasting them, we have another bowl here, bowl of water, and we are going to soak these guys for about 20 minutes. Let some water get into the shell and soften it, because it's the best way to do it. That way it steams a little bit of the nut inside, as well as doesn't make the actual outside burn. But you do want to roast these either on an open coal flame, or you can actually roast them in the oven. The oven is basically a little different. It's just that you don't have that smokiness of the actual true fire. So we will get all these soaked, cut and soaked, and we'll start roasting. Okay, we're back. 20 minutes have gone by, and your chestnuts have been soaking in water here. And what I've got here is sort of like a vegetable roasting tray. You can use a pan, or you can use any type of, you can even just use plain foil, but I like to look and get the taste of some of the fire as well, some of the smoke. So what I like to do is poke some holes in the bottom of the foil. That way some of the smoke starts to come up through. And if you're just using foil, you can just use plain holes and just poke holes into it as well. So, poke a couple holes in. Grab your chestnuts. Drop them in your little roaster pan here, or your bit of foil. Bidip. Got my little trusty Sophie doing our camera for us. And if you, Sophie, if you pan over to our chimenea, that's what we're going to be roasting them on. We got some nice wood in there. So, in order to not burn our fingers, got a nice pair of barbecue tongs. And I'm going to take the entire tray here of the chestnuts, shove them on in here. Simple as that. And as they heat up, you can see some of the smoke coming through. We've also got a little bit of a trick here to infuse some flavor. Got some tangerine peels.
There's stickers still on it.
Okay. And I'm going to toss them in there. That's just going to give us a nice tangerine type citrusy flavor to it. So I'll let you kind of listen to them steam here for a second. And we will be back in a minute as they cook. So if you look kind of closely, you can see the shell of it. Sometimes they start curling up. That's letting you know that they're roasting and getting nice and hot inside. So see the one way in the back there. Let's go for that one. Even that one. That one right there is definitely getting nice and roasted. So we are going to shake them up just a little bit. And they will start getting a little toasty brown on the bottom. And you can actually use your tongs to kind of spin them around. A lot of people cook them just on the flat side. I cook them on both sides. Looking like we are about done here. So what you're going to see is a bit of a charred color to the shell. A lot of curl to the shell. So we're going to come on over to our little table here, our patio table actually. Set them right here in the middle and let them cool off for a minute. Okay. Alright, so you'll see nice little curl to them so you can peel them. There are two parts to the shell. You'll see a dark colored shell, the hard outside shell, and then like a dark colored inside shell. This is pretty hot, so that's what we're going to peel off because we don't want to eat that either. So I'm going to transfer all these to a bowl. It'll cool off a little quicker. Yeah, these are done perfectly. Nice little char to them so you get the smokiness to it. This will be Sophie's first time of giving them a try. I'll take one out and we'll peel one up. So, you just peel it off, the outer shell. These can be chopped up fine or chunks and put them into turkey stuffing or pork stuffing or any kind of stuffing you like. These are kind of hot, so if I throw it, that's why it's hot. So, you'll see the little furry part of the shell here. That you can just peel right back. And the chestnut is inside that furry part here. Also, I've seen people take them and put them in a skillet with some honey. Stir fry them up with some honey, and they are delicious that way, sort of like a candy coating to it. So we'll open one up. And that's what a chestnut looks like. Nice and steamy and warm. Peel the rest of it off here. Sometimes the outer shell just comes right off very easily, as well as the inner shell. But just peel that off here. All right. Nice nutty flavor. A little crunchy. I'd give it sort of like a Brazil nut. Or sort of a cashew flavor. But they are sort of sweet too. There you go, so give it a try. Looks like a nut, tastes like a nut. All right, Merry Christmas, everybody. Mountain Man Chef signing off.